Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the next episode of Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience. What's going on with you, my friend? Your old pal Joe here checking in with you on a motherfucking Wednesday. How's it going? How's it hanging? I'm sorry for the delay, my friends. It's been a busy couple weeks. Vacation, all this, all that. We'll get into it very soon. I'll let you know what's been going on. Real quick, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Magic Mind. Get your mind right. Stay focused. Stay sharp with Magic Mind. Use the promo code Joe at checkout. That's J-O-E at checkout. Get yourself 20% off your orders over at magicmind.com. There's a link in the description of this podcast if you'd like to click it. Support the podcast. More importantly, support yourself, your mental clarity with a little bit of Magic Mind, my friends. Hey, got some comedy shows, some stand-up comedy coming up for you fine motherfuckers. Going to be great fucking comedy shows coming your way. This Thursday, I'll be at Sonny's Patio Pub and Refuge here in Nashville for PB Backyard Comedy. Come on through that one. Other than that, that's it for July. Slow month. There might be something else that I just can't, that I'm not thinking of right now because I didn't really plan July out. But after that, my goodness, people, Denver, August 6th. I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky, the 10th, 11th, and by God, wouldn't you know it, the 12th. 19th and 20th, Hilarities in Cleveland. I'll also be at the Improv in Pittsburgh on August 24th, in Boston the 25th and the 26th. All those shows with my good buddy Aaron Weber. I feel like I slurred when I said that. A little bit of clean comedy coming your way. September, I'll be in Des Moines, Iowa, and Seattle, Washington. And then October, it's going to be Salt Lake City, Utah. Coming for your asses, you fucking Mormons or whatever the fuck you got out there. It's not Amish, I don't think. Pretty sure it's the Mormons. Bringing you some fucking Mormon goddamn comedy in goddamn October. November, there's stuff Albany, New York, possibly Connecticut, also some other place, Appleton, Wisconsin, Florida, going to be in Tampa. JoeKelleyComedy.com has all your upcoming dates and everything you need to know about what's going on with me and my comedy shows, all right? How have you been, my friend? What's been going on with you? God damn it, I missed you. I'm sorry I fucking took a little bit of time off with the podcast there. I put out the one that had in the bank with Monty, and I'm sorry. I really wanted to get you a little vacation podcast, but I just didn't feel like it, if I'm going to be honest with you. I just didn't feel like forcing myself to do it, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to you. Hey, real quick, also, patreon.com/utilizeshrooms. Go over there. You're getting some content pretty much every day. Thank you to everyone who has already subscribed to the Patreon account. We do secret podcasts over there, get you a little bonus episode here and there. There's an exclusive stand-up comedy set over there. And yeah, I get you a little hello, good morning to you in the mornings, you know. Sometimes we do some different longer ones than we do on Instagram and everything else. So if you want to support me in the podcast, patreon.com/utilizeshrooms is a great place to do that. But anyway, the point of it is yeah, I don't know what you guys did for your 4th of July. I hope you had a great one. I was up in Michigan for about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that, hanging out with my family. Went up to a cabin in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with my sister and her fella and her kids and my cousin too. And it was just great. I had every intention of recording a podcast while I was at the cabin, but when push came to shove, I was like, what if I just take a step back and just don't really worry about anything else at the moment? Because I haven't been to that cabin in, golly, 10, 12 years, something like that. It's been a very long time. And that cabin was a big part of my childhood growing up. We were up there every summer. And then I think the last time I was up there was 2011. We used to go as a family. It was summer vacation every summer. We'd go up there, 4th of July. We'd always be at that cabin. And then my parents got a divorce. So, you know, the family vacation was over. And I just wasn't really into hunting. So I never really went up again. I went up once with my dad just to kind of hang out for a week to decompress. He thought I needed it. So I went up there with him. And that was the last time. So it was just fun to be up there. And and just not have to worry about doing the podcast, man, or anything, or stand up, or anything like that. I was really, because there's no Wi-Fi either. It's really in the middle of the woods, people. I don't know if you've ever been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's a beautiful fucking place. It's just the wilderness. It's just a giant forest. There's some cities scattered throughout, but really, you like, even there's a city called Manistee, and that's about 25 minutes away from the cabin, but that's like one of the major cities that the cabin's near. And even there, even like in the city, you barely get a cell phone signal. You might get a cell phone signal on like 2 blocks. It's kind of desolate. It's pretty cool. It's very enjoyable. And everyone's still in like 1992 up there, which I like. Everyone's like, this is about as far as we're going to go with culture and society. And everyone, we're just going to, we got to the point, they still do have Wi-Fi and internet, but for the most part, everyone's wearing like Stone Temple Pilot t-shirts and like real flannel, you know? And I know everybody wears flannel now, but it's like that 90s fucking flannel. It's a cool vibe, people. You should go check it out sometime if you don't want to have anything to do. But it was just, it's an awesome fucking place, man. Michigan, the cities are kind of shitty in Michigan, but overall, it's a pretty beautiful state. They got all the Great Lakes and stuff, the fresh water. There's lakes everywhere. It's fucking incredible, man. And it just felt, once, you know, as soon as I got there a night early before everybody else showed up, just to kind of have a night to myself. And you just kind of, anytime you lose your phone or something, it's like you have like a panic. It was nice to be able to free myself from the addiction of my cell phone for at least that week, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Because once I realized that it wasn't going to work, like there was no signal, I couldn't get internet at all, there was like no point in checking it. So I wasn't going to get any text messages. They would come in from time to time if you had your phone in the right spot, but it'd be hours after they were sent. I wasn't going to be able to check any emails. I had no purpose of having my phone on me. And that's kind of like, I'd originally thought like, okay, I'll record like some morning videos and just save them and post them later. But like, once I realized the phone wasn't working, I was just like, oh, I'm just going to detach myself from this fucking thing for a week. And goddamn, guys, it felt so good. It felt so fucking good to not really know what was going on in the world. You know, couldn't have anybody sending me, you know, fucking clips of stand-up comedians they know I don't like to try and irritate me or whatever it is, or just fucking stupid fucking videos on the internet. It was just such a nice break from all that, and to just like spend time with my sister. And like, dude, I fucking hung out with my niece so fucking much up north. I rode bikes with her. I went fishing with her. I went on walks with her. I made a desk for her out of like, just like a makeshift. She's like, I want an office desk. So I got some logs and some like 2x4s and made her like this makeshift desk and got her a chair. And then she was like running my company, and our company was just selling Bud Lights. But it was just fucking fun. You know what I mean? Hanging out with my cousin, fishing with him. That's, you know, I shot my gun that I got. I finally got to do a little target practice up there. I went on like a 20-mile bike ride. I drove around in the woods. I went to different lakes I'd never been to and just fucking looked at them. Stood in the water for a second. It's just so fucking, it made me feel like a real person for a week and not like this fucking cyborg that's, you know, that's on the internet and just fucking attached to this cell phone and like, you know, the interactions. And I live alone too. So it's like, you know, most of my communication with people when I'm at home is like text messages or email or some or phone calls here and there. So, you know, there's rarely any other way to communicate with people half the time. And maybe we don't need to be that fucking attached. That's what it seems like. That's what it felt like. We're like, oh, we don't need to talk every day, because when we're talking every day, there's nothing new to really talk about. But if you take a fucking week off and you go, hey, I got some things I was thinking about and I wanted to talk about. But dude, it was just fucking, it was so good to take a break from it. And now it's like, how do I get more of that in my regular life? Because that's been the first like vacation I've went on. And I don't know how long, people. I really don't know how long. I've gone on some trips like here and there, like maybe like a day trip or something like that. But that was something where it's like, a true like disconnect vacation sort of thing in over 10 years. So that was real good too. But just like, I don't know, just not being fucking plugged into the matrix and just that constant dopamine hit. It's like I'd wake up at the cabin, I'd start a fire at like 7:30 in the morning just to get it cooking. You got to have a fire throughout the day, keeps the mosquitoes away. And then I took the kayak out in the morning, went fishing, caught some bass, caught some pike, would come back, would eat breakfast with my family. One morning I cooked breakfast for everybody, but they didn't wake up until 10:30, 11 o'clock, so it was cold. I was like, I'll start cooking at 9. That'll give everybody plenty of time to be awake. And nobody was awake. But that's beside the point. And yeah, just really really enjoyed myself. So when I was thinking about trying to do the podcast, I was just like, don't even let the podcast be a part of what is going on up here right now. Just at the cabin, with being unplugged from society, I guess, or just really just living, just being a human being out in the woods, cooking food, sharing food with people, laughing, having some drink, having some smoke, spending time with people I haven't really got to spend a lot of time with in a long time, especially my sister. I do see my sister frequently, but that's the first time we've spent like a whole week together since we were kids. And we got to spend it in a place where, we were kids. It was real fun getting to be back up there with my sister. It just, I don't know, man. It just put me in such a good mood and like a good spirit. And I think gave me just some kind of, just some clarity, I guess, going forward from here on out, I think that shit's become more important to me than it was in the past, or maybe it was. And maybe it's always been important for me, because I've always been on this journey of seeking something, I've always been like, there's got to be more to life than, what I felt when I was 21. And there is more to it. I just didn't know. So it's always been this journey of like seeking and going, what is the purpose of all this? What is the meaning? What really makes me happy? And bro, I gotta be like, I love my family very much. I think that the family, I guess, maybe the whole meaning of all this, or whatever I was seeking, was maybe some form of a family. Just because I guess I felt like I didn't have one anymore with mine because of divorces and this, that, and the other. And, people got emotional problems and substance problems and shit like that. So everything felt broken. So I guess I was seeking a sense of that. And I don't know. I guess I was really never truly without it, is what I'm saying. I just kind of lost sight of it. And I think everybody else did too there for a little while. Everybody was going through their own shit. But yeah, man, I just really enjoyed being around my family. And I loved getting to spend time with my niece. She was real cool. She's going to be a lot of fun. It's cool as fuck, man. It's just, yeah. So the point is, I love my family, and I didn't want to take away from them to do the podcast, and I hope that's okay with you guys. Because even in a weird way, we're kind of like a family over here, over on the old podcast stuff. We talk, I feel like I try to have a good relationship with you guys as listeners, and if you ever reach out to me, I do my best to respond, and hopefully it's in an adequate amount of time or in an whatever. You get what I'm saying? You hope I do it and fuck, I don't waste too much fucking time before I do it. So, with that being said, I don't know, dude. It was just a good fucking trip. Kind of like, just took me back. It helped me remind myself of who I am and where I came from. And I think that was something that I kind of lose sight of. Just running, doing this comedy bullshit, trying to figure out what making it is in comedy. And, you know, feel like I wasted a lot of time being away from my family. Because I always loved them. I always loved being around them. I don't know. But just being back up there, getting to take a break from everything, it was just like, you know, yeah, it just is like, who am I? It's like, I'm this. I'm a little fucking white trash kid from Flint who spent a lot of time fishing and swimming in a lake. You know, that's pretty much what I spent most of my time doing as a child, playing sports here and there, but spent a lot of time fishing. And I haven't been fishing in a long time. And I think I'm going to start doing that again more. That was it was just fun to fish. I forgot I enjoyed fishing. I forgot I enjoyed anything for a while. It's pretty fucking crazy, man. You know, maybe it's easy to lose, I don't know, because I feel like when you're a kid, I think it's a pretty common thing to go through the thing where like, well, nobody gets me, especially with your family. Like, these people don't get me. They don't know me, this, that, and the other. But the truth is, you probably don't know yourself then. And then, I guess for me, I definitely had that attitude where I'm like, these people don't know me. And then, you know, and they probably do. They've spent more time with you than anybody else, and they are a little bit older. They've seen how you know, they've seen the subtleties in your behavior that you might not necessarily pick up on yourself because you're too close to the project that is yourself, you know. It's tough to look at yourself from the outside. So the people who are like, oh, you don't know me, they probably do have a decent sense of who you are. And maybe there's more to you, and that's fine too. But I don't know, leaving them, I guess I kind of forgot or lost sight of the person that they knew because I was too busy trying to find the person that I thought I could be that they didn't know. And I think I did, but the other part, the part that they know, is still there. You know, the guy who fucking goes fishing and fucking spends time with his sister and all that shit. It's just a good trip, man. That's all. And again, I'll just keep repeating it. I'm sorry I didn't fucking get the podcast done. I was just having too much fun, man. I was having way too much fucking fun up there. I went tubing. I don't know if you guys have ever been tubing. You fucking get in a tube in the fucking boat and they pull you around the goddamn lake with it. I think there's other tubing where you just float down a river. But we tie that fucker to a boat and whip you around the lake. And man, I haven't done that in forever. That was a fucking great time. I got to watch my niece. I got to watch her courage grow as she was on the tube, which is pretty cool, man. It's fun to watch somebody be scared of something and then like conquer that fear. Because I guess she probably hadn't been tubing too much. And even when she does, she's 8, so it's like taking it easy with her or whatever it is. But she got to the point where she was getting pretty comfortable, so started hitting some waves and stuff like that. And then we started whipping her out of the wake behind the boat, which is usually how you knock people off, is you cut a fast, sharp turn, and then they whip to the side of the boat, and it's fucking tough to hang on. But she did it like a champ. She went from being nervous to doing no hands and fucking wiped out twice, didn't get scared, didn't cry, just waited for the boat to come back around. I think she was getting brave because she saw me and my sister doing it, and we were fucking killing it, dude. They fucking whipped me. I'm not going to toot my own horn here, people, but I did some of the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life, where they fucking tried to whip me on the tube, so I wiped out, right? But I figured, in my head, I thought about it on the drive up. I was like, if you're going fast enough to the side and you're like doing a barrel roll on the tube, just don't let go, because I think the tube will keep rolling through. Because usually once you're upside down, people let go of the tube, and then the tube flies away, and then you're in the middle of the lake. I hope this is making sense. I hope you guys are getting the visual concept of what I'm saying here. So I was like, well, just don't let go and keep rolling with it, and you'll probably come back up on top of the water. And that's what fucking happened, dude. I was like, my sister was driving the boat. She fucking whipped me. I start to fucking flip over, like barrel roll. And I was like, just fucking lock those elbows, hang on tight, and keep rolling with it. And fucking pop right back up as she kept going. And it was like, this is some X Games shit, dude. I felt like fucking Tony Hawk out there, bro. But I think that encouraged my niece to be like, okay, these guys are going slow. They're taking it easy with me. So I'm going to go no hands. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So she fucking, it was just real fun to watch her get better and more comfortable with tubing. And it was just fun. Again, something I haven't done. I probably haven't been tubing. That would have been before my parents got a divorce. So that's probably like fucking, dude, 99 maybe. 99, 2000. Maybe it's definitely pre 9/11, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe no, it would have been 7th grade was the last time, because I shaved my head. Would have been 8th grade, because we went the year after too. 8th grade was the last time I think I went tubing. So it's been forever, but great time, fun. I hope you guys had a great 4th, and I hope you fucking, just don't forget who you are. Don't forget even if you think there's something else to you, there's something more to you. There's still aspects of you that, I don't know, maybe you don't see, maybe you don't understand, but anyway, yeah, just a great time all around. Real quick, let's take a break, check in with our wonderful sponsors, and we'll be right back for more Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience, you fucking motherfuckers. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Magic Mind. As someone who smokes copious amounts of marijuana, sometimes I forget things, ladies and gentlemen. If you're anything like me, you probably forget things too. Sometimes I can't remember what day it is. And everyone goes, oh, Joe, you got no short-term memory because you're smoking all that weed. And while that may be true, also, a lot of things just seem insignificant and not important enough to remember. But thankfully, I've started drinking Magic Mind, and now my thoughts are clear. My short-term memory is back. I'm remembering things like people's names, birth dates, what day of the week it is. Simple things like that I would easily forget day in and day out, either A, because I was too high, or B, found them irrelevant. But no one's birthday is irrelevant, and thanks to Magic Mind, I now know that. People enjoy being around me more now that I remember things about their lives, like their birthday, like their names, like the fact that, yes, they are married and have told me no before. All that was forgotten before Magic Mind came into my life. So if you're looking to clear your mind, clear your body, clear your soul, think freely and openly about everything in life, go to magicmind.com/Joe Kelley Comedy. Use the promo code Joe at checkout. Save yourself 20%, all right? Get your mind right. Get your thoughts cleared up with Magic Mind. Promo code JOE at checkout. Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that brief message from our sponsors. I just realized I the video wasn't recording. So the first half of this, no video. But now it's on. Hey, fuckers. My bad. I don't know how I fucking did that. God fucking damn it, dude. Sometimes it is what it is. I'm looking at the screen the whole time, too, going, oh, dude, things are great. The camera's not messing up. Everything's going just fine. And then I look at the fucking recording icon, and it's not working. But anyway, we're back. We're live. I'm sorry, everybody. What the fuck? Listen, just going off kind of what we were talking about earlier, as far as taking a break from social media and just everything else, I've uninstalled TikTok from my phone. I'm done with that shit. This constant scrolling I don't think is good for anybody's brain. I've watched enough fucking documentaries and goddamn, articles about the TikTok and the dopamine and the scrolling and how it's not good. And I go, okay, this isn't good. And then I fucking do it anyway. So I'm just done with that shit. I'm still on it. So if you're on TikTok, you got to go watch shit, go for it. If you want to chop up the podcast, any stand-up videos and post them on TikTok, fucking go for it, dude. I'm just fucking done with that shit. Done with the constant scrolling. Done with, the curated algorithm of never finding really anything new. Done just fucking people going, hey, look at this TikTok. And I'm in the middle of something and it's like, oh, I'll fucking click that. Sure. I'm done with it. Being away from that shit. It's like, oh, this is not good. I don't think this is a good thing. I felt so alive and full of life when I wasn't scrolling through TikTok, my friends. So then it's like, okay, I'll just be done with that one. I'll be fucking done with that. I don't want to watch these short clips anymore. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of the useless, nonsensical scrolling through garbage fucking content. Not that it's all garbage or whatever. Not trying to trash everybody who's making shit, but it's like, it don't do nothing for me. It really don't affect my life. There is some cool stuff out there. There's some people making cool shit, making fucking cool ass recipes, but I'll find you elsewhere other than scrolling through TikTok, man. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I don't think it's fucking good. I don't think it's good for anybody's brain. And then my niece has it, and that's kind of what did it. I was like, no, you shouldn't be on there. And it's like her account is restricted, but I know that doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's it has nothing to do with the content as much as it does is the developing habits, of fucking scrolling through shit. And also, it's, it just feeds into everybody's insecurities and shit. And I'm an 8-year-old. I'm sure that's not going to be fucking good for her. Oh, it's makeup tutorials. It's like, yeah, but it's a makeup tutorial by some 18-year-old whore with giant tits that are sticking out. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, yeah, she's teaching me how to do makeup. But also it's like, well, look at this. I don't have giant tits. And it's like, well, you're 8 years old. You shouldn't have them. You know what I mean? Just feeding into people's insecurities. So we'll see how all that goes. But I was like, I'm just fucking getting off that shit. I can't be on that. There's no use for it. If you're on TikTok, get the fuck off it. Or stay on it. Do whatever it is you want. I just don't like... I felt different not having access to it and not scrolling through shit. And I felt better. My mind felt better. I also had shit to do, which is nice rather than, starting a fire, going fishing. I guess when you're sitting at home, you got to find something else to do other than scrolling. It's just easy to put in a day of work and then sit on the couch and scroll. But anyway, I don't think it's not for me anymore, people. I'm off that shit. I'm done with it. What else we got? Oh, here's the great news. This is my uncle updated me on this as soon as I got back from the cabin, or maybe it was before. What about the old booger sugar at the goddamn White House, people? What do you think about that? What do you think about the fact that there's illegal narcotics at the goddamn White House? Let me ask you this, my friends. Do you think it's the first fucking time it's happened? Probably not. Everyone's like, oh my God, there's booger sugar at the White House. And it's like, well, yeah. I guarantee it's there every day. That's how politics and lawyers and banking and all that shit operate, is through a little bit of, a little bit of Snow White there. How the fuck do you think they're going to sign bills for your fucking, to fix your fucking shitty streets in your fucking shitty town? They got to fucking think about how many shitty towns there are in this country that need their roads fixed. A lot. You think these people can fucking check off on thousands upon thousands of garbage rundown cities who all need fucking financial aid to rebuild their cities, right? All of them. Thousands of cities in this country are in need of that. That's a lot of fucking writing and checking. You can't get through that many pieces of paper. Not without a little bit of help from the little, you know what I mean? You got to do a couple little toots, and then you're fucking, everybody's approved. Everybody's approved for financial aid. We're going to rebuild all the cities in America, you know? But then they snort all the money that's supposed to go to the goddamn cities. It's an endless cycle. But the fact that that's like a fucking news thing or some shit like that, that people are like, wow, there's someone doing cocaine in the White Office. It's like, yeah, that sounds about right. It's a business. Have you ever been to any job ever? People getting fucked up. People do drugs at work all the time. You know, I think it's because they're trying to go, oh, it's Hunter Biden's coke. And it might have been, but it was probably, that's why no one's coming forward, because it could have been anybody's. That's why no one's saying, oh, that was mine, because it's like, well, it could have been Jim's, could have been Barbara's, definitely could have been a Bill Clinton. That was probably a fucking bag from 92. You know, probably some of the good stuff left over from the old Clinton administration. But I don't get it. People just fucking talking about nonsense. That's my uncle. He's like, oh, they found drugs at the White House. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's not surprising. That's, you know, it's just the first time they mentioned it. They just do drugs and have pizza parties at the White House. You know what I mean? They like to do a little booger sugar along with, they like to order pizza to the White House too. A little late night pizza from what I've heard. You know? Some of you guys might know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all don't, but you know what I mean? A little late night pizza party with a little toot magoo at the old White House. Come on now. That was Barry O's favorite. That was Barry O's favorite order. Couple little tooter booters for each nostril and a big fat pizza party. A nice Mexican pizza party too. Who don't love pizza? Who don't love pizza? Let's get to the animal video clip of the week and get you on your fucking way, people. Hope we've had a little bit of fun today. This fucking great, fucking fantastic, wonderful video coming from our good friends over at World Star Hip Hop, baby. It's a guy. It's a guy. It's always a guy. Not always, but a lot of times it's a guy doing something he shouldn't be doing. You're going to decide he's going to fuck around with an alligator. He's trying to get some pussy. That's what he's doing. You can tell because there's a lady with a high-pitched voice recording him. So he's like, I'm going to go slap that gator on the head. And she's like, oh, Frank, don't do it. That's so dangerous. I don't want you to get hurt. But really, nothing would make her wetter than him slapping that gator on the head, you know? She don't want him to, but she does. In her soul, she does. She wants to be impressed. You know what I mean? She wants to see those peacock feathers. And sometimes a peacock feather in the human world is slapping a fucking gator in the goddamn head. That's where we're at as far as a fucking species goes. So we're so much more intelligent than other fucking creatures. That instead of showing off feathers, we slap fucking gators in the head. But anyway, he tries to get the little tap on the first time. He misses. He backs up. He thinks it's all fun and games. He doesn't think, because this gator's maybe 7 feet, 8 feet long. Not the biggest of gators, right? And, you know, I think he's going for a second hit or whatever. That gator jumps, kind of lunges at him. He tries to pull his hand back. He don't make it back. Gator got his hand. And now he's, no one's really freaking out just yet, but the gator slashes back and forth a couple of times, really gets its teeth in there, and then the guy kind of like mounts the gator, and then the gator starts to do that beautiful death roll that them gators like to do. And I think it at least broke his hand. And that's when the lady starts screaming. But fortunately, after the gator just wanted to prove a point. I think after he mangled that dude's hand, he just let go and then was like, all right, I'm done here. Not even hungry. Not even hungry. You just tried slapping me. So I showed you who the real motherfucker is, who's going to be slapping people around here. You know? Don't slap something that can rip your hand off. If you're going to slap something, make sure it's the retaliation is equal to a slap. But I wouldn't slap a dinosaur that really has no, you know, I don't think the teeth really shred you that much as it is the power of the teeth that penetrate your flesh, and then they do that spinny thing, and then it just messes you up. But point I'm trying to make here, people, in case you're not getting it, let me spell it out for you real quick, all right? You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't spit into the wind, and you don't slap an alligator on the head, and you don't mess around with Jim. I think we can all agree. Fine words of advice right there. Thanks for checking out the podcast this week, everybody. Hope we had a little bit of fun. Listen, show's coming up. Real quick, before we get out of here, thank you to our good friends over at Magic Mind. Don't forget, magicmind.com. Use the promo code Joe at checkout. That's Joe. Get you 20% off your order. Also, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the Patreon. I certainly appreciate it. If you would like to become a supporter of the Patreon, you can do so. Patreon.com/utilize shrooms. There will be a link in the bio. And I'll be at Sonny's Patio Pub in Refuge doing some stand-up comedy this Thursday, July 13th. And then Louisville the 10th through the 12th with my good buddy Aaron Weber. Also be in Denver August 6th. Cleveland the 19th and the 20th. Pittsburgh, Boston, all sorts of stuff coming up. JoeKelleyComedy.com has all your upcoming dates and shows. Thanks for checking out the podcast this week, everybody. Hope we had a little bit of fun. Do me a favor before you get out of here, if you could be so kind, all right? If you got some time, if you could be so kind, take care of yourself, take care of somebody else, and I'll catch you around real fucking soon. Later. YouTube, sorry about that. I'm sorry in the video. I don't know how I didn't fucking see that it wasn't recording, but it wasn't. So, we'll make sure that never happens again. Again, my apologies. We're back in the swing of things, you know. I'll be back Monday with a new podcast for you. Got some other ideas I'm racking around. Still, content. Content, people. Everybody wants fucking content. So I'm going to give you some content, all right? I love you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sticking by me. Thanks for everything you do. I love you. Have fun. I'll see you next week.